Have you ever stopped to wonder what truly determines whether you'll continue living life on your own terms as you grow older? It isn't whether you can remember every name. It isn't whether your hair has turned gray, and it isn't the number of birthdays you've celebrated. The real question is much simpler. Can you get out of a chair without hesitation? Walk across a parking lot without feeling unsteady? Carry your groceries, climb a few steps, or recover quickly after a busy afternoon? These everyday abilities are easy to overlook because they feel so ordinary. Yet they quietly shape one of the most valuable things any of us hopes to keep as we age: our independence. As a physician, I've spent many years caring for patients before and after surgery. Those experiences have taught me that age alone rarely tells the whole story. I remember one morning when two patients arrived for similar procedures. Both were in their early 70s. Their medical histories looked remarkably alike, and on paper, there was very little separating them. But the moment they entered the hospital, the difference became obvious. The first gentleman walked down the hallway at a steady pace, carrying a small bag over his shoulder. He greeted the nurses, settled himself into the chair, and seemed completely comfortable moving around on his own. The second gentleman needed frequent pauses just to make the short walk from the waiting area. His daughter gently supported his arm, and even sitting down required extra effort. He wasn't seriously ill, but everyday movements had clearly become much harder. People often assume that differences like these appear overnight. In reality, they usually develop little by little over many years. The body is constantly adapting to the choices we make. Small habits, whether staying active, maintaining strength, or allowing movement to become less frequent, gradually shape how capable we remain later in life. That's why I don't judge healthy aging by a single laboratory result or one number in a medical chart. Instead, I pay close attention to what a person's body is still able to do in everyday life. The encouraging news is that many of these abilities are surprisingly easy to evaluate, and most don't require expensive equipment or a visit to a specialist. In today's video, I'll share 5 simple abilities that can give you valuable insight into how well your body is aging. More importantly, I'll explain why each one matters, what it reveals about your overall health, and how you can strengthen it. I especially encourage you to stay for ability number 1. It seems so ordinary that most people ignore it, yet doctors often pay very close attention to it for a reason. Ability 5. Walking speed. That may sound almost too simple, but walking speed has become one of the most valuable clues we have about how well the body is functioning. In fact, many healthcare professionals consider it another vital sign, right alongside blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing. Why? Because every step you take is the result of several different systems working together at exactly the same moment. Your heart must pump enough oxygen-rich blood to your muscles. Your lungs must bring in that oxygen efficiently. The muscles in your hips and legs must generate enough strength to move you forward. Your joints need enough flexibility to allow smooth movement. Your sense of balance has to keep you upright, while your brain constantly processes information about where your body is in space and makes tiny adjustments with every stride. Walking may feel automatic, but it is actually one of the most complex things your body does each day. That's why changes in walking speed often appear long before people notice obvious health problems. I once met a woman named Helen during a routine follow-up visit. She wasn't there because she felt sick. In fact, she told me she was doing just fine. But as she walked from the reception area into the examination room, something caught my attention. She wasn't limping, and she wasn't in pain. She had simply become noticeably slower than she had been a year earlier. When we talked, she admitted she had gradually stopped taking her evening walks because she tired more easily. Then she began avoiding longer shopping trips. A few months later, she preferred staying home rather than meeting friends for lunch because walking across large parking lots felt exhausting. None of those changes happened overnight. Each one seemed small on its own, but together they told the story of a body that was becoming less active, less confident, and less resilient. This is why walking speed matters so much. It doesn't only measure how fast you move. It reflects how well your entire body is working as one coordinated system. Research has repeatedly shown that older adults who maintain a comfortable, steady walking pace generally recover better from illness, stay active longer, and remain independent for more years. On the other hand, a gradual slowing of everyday walking can sometimes be an early signal that the body is losing strength and reserve, even before other symptoms become obvious. The encouraging part is that this is not a permanent sentence. Walking speed is remarkably responsive to training. You don't need expensive equipment or a gym membership to improve it. Start by walking consistently, even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes each day. As your confidence grows, add short periods where you intentionally increase your pace for 20 or 30 seconds before returning to your normal speed. These gentle intervals encourage your heart, lungs, muscles, and nervous system to work a little harder without overwhelming your body. Over time, those brief efforts can make everyday walking feel easier. Many people believe slowing down is simply an unavoidable part of getting older. While some changes with age are natural, losing the ability to walk confidently is not something you should automatically accept. So the next time you head to the mailbox, stroll through your neighborhood, or walk around the grocery store, pay attention to your pace. Your walking speed isn't just measuring how quickly you're getting from one place to another. It's quietly revealing how well your body is supporting the life you want to continue living. And with regular practice, it is one of the easiest abilities to strengthen at any age. Ability 4. Grip strength. The second ability may seem unrelated to healthy aging at first. After all, how much can the strength of your hands really tell you about the rest of your body? Surprisingly, quite a lot. Your grip is not powered by the fingers alone. When you hold a shopping bag, open a tightly sealed jar, carry a suitcase, or steady yourself on a handrail, muscles throughout your hands, wrists, arms, shoulders, and upper body work together. Your nervous system must also send clear signals so those muscles can produce the right amount of force. For this reason, grip strength is often viewed as a simple reflection of overall muscle condition. It gives healthcare professionals a useful glimpse into how much physical reserve a person still has available. Physical reserve is the extra capacity your body can call upon when life becomes demanding. You rely on it when recovering from an illness, getting through a difficult week, standing up after a stumble, or rebuilding strength after spending several days in bed. A person may feel perfectly healthy during an ordinary day. Yet, limited reserve often becomes noticeable when something unexpected happens. I once cared for a retired teacher named Walter who had always considered himself fairly active. He drove, cooked his own meals, and handled most daily tasks without assistance. But after a short hospital stay, he was surprised by how difficult ordinary activities had become. He struggled to twist open a bottle of water. Carrying a small bag from one room to another tired his arms. Even pulling himself up from a chair using the armrests felt harder than he expected. Walter assumed the weakness had appeared suddenly because of his illness. But when we spoke more closely, he realized there had been quieter signs for some time. He had begun asking store employees to carry heavier purchases. He avoided using certain kitchen tools because his hands tired quickly. He had also stopped doing small repair projects around the house because gripping a screwdriver had become uncomfortable. The hospital stay did not create the entire problem. It simply revealed how much strength had already been lost. This is one reason grip strength matters. Lower grip strength has been associated with reduced overall muscle strength, a greater chance of falling, and more difficulty recovering after illness or surgery. It can also make everyday independence more fragile because so many daily tasks require us to grasp, carry, pull, push, or stabilize ourselves. But this ability is not fixed. Muscles can respond to regular training well into later life, and improving grip strength does not require extreme exercise. You can begin with ordinary movements. Carry a light grocery bag in each hand for a short distance. Gently squeeze a soft ball several times. Use a resistance band for pulling exercises, or hold a light weight while keeping your wrist steady. Even gardening, folding thicker towels, or safely moving household items can challenge the muscles involved in gripping. The key is consistency rather than intensity. 2 or 3 short strength sessions each week can be more helpful than one exhausting workout, followed by several weeks of inactivity. Begin with a level that feels controlled. Avoid holding your breath, and stop if you feel sharp pain or unusual discomfort. It is also important to train more than the hands. Exercises for the arms, shoulders, back, and legs help create the full body strength that grip strength often represents. The goal is not simply to squeeze harder. It is to build a body that can handle daily demands with less effort. Ability 3. Cardiopulmonary fitness. This simply means how well your heart and lungs work together to supply oxygen to your body during movement. It affects whether you can walk around the neighborhood comfortably, climb a flight of stairs, carry groceries into the house, or spend time outdoors without needing frequent breaks. You may have strong legs, but those muscles still need oxygen to keep working. Every time you breathe in, your lungs bring oxygen into your body. Your heart then pumps oxygen-rich blood through your blood vessels and delivers it to your muscles. Those muscles use the oxygen to produce the energy that allows you to move. When this system works efficiently, everyday activities require less effort. When it becomes weaker, even simple tasks can leave you feeling unusually tired or short of breath. One way researchers measure this ability is through something called VO2 max. The name may sound complicated, but the idea is simple. VO2 max reflects how much oxygen your body can take in, transport, and use during physical activity. It does not measure only your lungs or only your heart. It gives a broader picture of how your heart, lungs, blood vessels, and muscles are working together. This is why cardiopulmonary fitness can reveal so much about how well the body is aging. I once met a man named Daniel during a routine medical visit. He was 73 and still lived independently. He cooked for himself, drove to the store, and enjoyed taking care of the plants in his backyard. But over the previous year, he had started sitting down halfway through his gardening. Walking up the stairs required a pause at the top. When his family invited him on longer outings, he often declined because he worried he would slow everyone down. Daniel assumed this was simply a normal part of getting older. But what he was experiencing was not only about age. His daily movement had gradually decreased, and his heart and lungs were no longer being challenged the way they once had been. He began with a simple plan. 3 days a week, he walked at a comfortable pace for 10 minutes. As that became easier, he increased the time. Later, he added short periods of faster walking, followed by slower recovery. Several months later, Daniel noticed that he could spend more time in the yard without sitting down. He could climb the stairs with less effort, and he began joining his family on weekend outings again. His life had not changed because he became an athlete. It changed because his body became better at delivering and using oxygen. This ability is important for another reason. Stronger cardiopulmonary fitness gives the body more reserve when something unexpected happens. During an illness, infection, or surgery, the body has to work harder than usual. A heart and lung system that is already well-conditioned is often better prepared to handle that additional demand. This does not mean good fitness guarantees perfect health, but it can give your body more capacity to recover and return to normal activities. The encouraging news is that cardiopulmonary fitness can improve at almost any age. You do not need to run, lift heavy weights, or join an intense exercise class. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming, dancing, or any activity that gently raises your heart rate can help. The best activity is usually the one you can perform safely and continue regularly. Start with a pace that allows you to breathe faster while still being able to speak in short sentences. Over time, gradually increase the duration or add brief periods of slightly faster movement. Consistency matters more than intensity. A moderate walk repeated several times each week can be more valuable than one exhausting workout, followed by a long period of inactivity. It is also important to listen to your body. If you experience chest discomfort, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or unusual weakness, stop and speak with a healthcare professional before continuing. Ability 2. Balance. When I ask older patients what they fear most about aging, very few mention wrinkles or gray hair. Many do not even mention illness. Instead, they quietly say, "I'm afraid of falling." That fear is understandable because a fall is not simply an accident. For many older adults, it can become the event that changes everything. Someone who was living independently may suddenly need help getting dressed, preparing meals, or walking across the room. Confidence begins to disappear, daily routines become smaller, and activities that once brought joy are avoided because they no longer feel safe. In many cases, it is not only the injury that changes a person's life. It is the loss of confidence that follows. This is why balance deserves far more attention than it often receives. Many people imagine balance as something controlled only by the legs. But your body actually relies on several different systems working together every second you are standing. Your inner ear constantly detects changes in the position of your head and helps you remain upright. Your eyes provide information about your surroundings, allowing your brain to understand where your body is in relation to the world around you. At the same time, the nerves in your feet sense the ground beneath you and respond to changes in the surface. Your muscles make hundreds of tiny corrections without you noticing them, while your brain receives all this information, processes it within fractions of a second, and sends instructions back to the body. Standing still may appear effortless, but behind the scenes, your body is performing an extraordinary amount of work. I remember meeting a patient named Margaret shortly after her 78th birthday. She had not experienced a serious fall, but several weeks earlier, she stumbled while stepping off a curb. She caught herself before hitting the ground, so she assumed everything was fine. But something had changed. Margaret stopped walking to the neighborhood cafe and began avoiding busy sidewalks. Inside her home, she started holding on to furniture as she moved from one room to another, even though she had never needed to do that before. When I asked why, her answer was simple: "I don't trust my balance anymore." Physically, she had recovered from the stumble. Emotionally, she had not. Over time, she became less active, and that lack of movement caused her balance to weaken even further. It became a cycle that many older adults experience without realizing it. They move less because they are afraid of falling, but moving less gradually makes them even less stable. Fortunately, balance is a skill that can often be improved. Like strength and endurance, it responds to regular practice. One of the simplest exercises is standing on one leg while keeping a sturdy chair or countertop within reach. At first, you may only manage a few seconds, and that is perfectly normal. With patience and consistent practice, those few seconds can gradually become longer. Tai Chi is another excellent option. Its slow and controlled movements can improve coordination, strengthen the muscles that stabilize the body, and teach the brain to respond more effectively when your position changes. Gentle weight shifts, heel-to-toe walking, and practicing safe changes in direction can also make a meaningful difference. One habit I encourage many patients to develop is checking how long they can comfortably stand on one leg. Always perform this test beside a sturdy surface, and have someone nearby if you are uncertain about your stability. You do not need to compare your result with anyone else. Instead, compare it with your own result from the previous month. If your time gradually improves, it may be a sign that your muscles, coordination, and nervous system are becoming more responsive. If your balance is steadily declining, that can be a useful reminder to become more active or discuss the change with a healthcare professional. Ability 1. Getting up from the floor. Ask yourself one question. If you were sitting on the floor right now, could you stand back up without needing someone else's help? Many people never think about this until they actually find themselves in that situation. But the ability to rise from the floor is something healthcare professionals pay close attention to because it requires your entire body to work together. Standing up from the floor is far more demanding than standing up from a chair. Your legs must generate enough strength to lift your body, Your core muscles stabilize your spine as you shift your weight. Your hips, knees, and ankles need enough flexibility to move through a wide range of motion. Your sense of balance keeps you steady, while your brain coordinates every movement in the correct sequence. If even one of those abilities becomes weaker, getting up can suddenly feel much more difficult. I remember meeting a gentleman named Thomas after he had slipped while planting flowers in his backyard. Fortunately, he wasn't injured. The ground was soft, and he hadn't struck his head. But after the fall, he discovered something that worried him far more than the slip itself. He couldn't get back up. He tried pushing with his arms. He rolled onto one knee. He rested and tried again. After several exhausting minutes, he finally managed to pull himself upright by holding onto a sturdy garden bench. When he told me the story, he wasn't embarrassed because he had fallen. He was frightened because he realized how easily that same situation could have happened when no one else was nearby. That experience motivated him to begin rebuilding the strength and mobility he had gradually lost over the years. Studies have shown that older adults who struggle to perform this movement often have a higher risk of future health problems and may lose their independence more quickly than those who can rise with confidence. The movement reflects far more than leg strength alone. It combines muscle power, flexibility, coordination, balance, and overall physical reserve into one simple task. Of course, difficulty standing from the floor does not mean something terrible will happen. Many conditions, including arthritis or previous injuries, can make the movement more challenging. But if the task becomes noticeably harder than it once was, it deserves your attention rather than being dismissed as just getting older. The encouraging news is that this ability can often improve with practice. Simple exercises such as squats help strengthen the hips and thighs that power the movement. Practicing controlled kneeling and standing builds confidence while teaching the body to move smoothly between different positions. Rising from a low chair or sturdy step can also prepare your muscles for the same pattern of movement in a safer and more gradual way. The goal is not to force yourself onto the floor before you are ready. Instead, strengthen each part of the movement until it becomes easier. If you have concerns about your balance or have fallen before, practice with a sturdy support nearby or under the guidance of a physical therapist or qualified exercise professional. Like every other ability we've discussed today, this one responds to consistent training. Many older adults are surprised by how much easier it becomes after just a few months of regular practice. Movements that once felt intimidating gradually become familiar again, and with that improvement often comes something equally valuable: confidence. No matter when you begin, your body is capable of becoming stronger. With patience, regular practice, and steady progress, getting up from the floor can remain a skill that serves you well throughout the years ahead. These 5 abilities: walking speed, grip strength, cardiopulmonary fitness, balance, and the ability to rise from the floor, tell us something important. Aging is not measured only by the number of candles on a birthday cake. It is also reflected in how well your body continues to support the life you want to live. You do not need to improve everything at once. Choose one ability and begin with a small, realistic step today. A few extra minutes of walking, a simple balance exercise, or practicing how to rise safely from a low chair can become the beginning of meaningful change. Which of these 5 abilities surprised you the most? Share your answer in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please like it, share it with someone who may benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more practical guidance on staying strong, independent, and confident as you age. Growing older is inevitable. Losing your strength and independence without a fight is not.